One of the biggest lies in trading is that you need more discipline. For over 11 years, I've seen that relying on your willpower is the fastest way to fail. And I had to learn that the hard way. After a stupid emotional mistake on a Nasdaq trade, one I took while distracted, breaking my own rules, which cost me dearly. That single painful loss taught me a critical lesson. Trying to be more disciplined was not the answer. In fact, it was the problem. So I built a system that made discipline irrelevant. And in this video, I'm giving you that exact system. It's a simple checklist that will turn you from a frustrated gambler in trading who keeps sabotaging their own trades into the calm, methodical casino that always has the edge. And we are going to do it in 3 parts. First, I'll show you why your willpower is your weakest link. Then, I'll give you the 3-point TLS Veto Filter that instantly rejects bad trades. And finally, you'll get my pre-commitment contract that makes it impossible to sabotage your trades ever again. That stupid mistake I mentioned on the Nasdaq, it happened in February of 2024. I was at my uncle's burial, so I was emotional, distracted, and definitely not in a state to be trading. But I pulled out my phone anyway and forced a trade. I completely forgot one of my most basic rules. That is, never enter a new trade in a market where your last trade was a loss. And it was a dumb mistake made because I was tired and stressed, and it cost me real money. And that pain taught me a lesson I will never forget. My willpower and my discipline, they are the weakest part of my trading. Think about it. Does a pilot, a highly trained expert, just jump in the cockpit and fly from memory? Of course not. He uses a checklist. Not because he's a beginner, no, it's because he's a professional. He respects that pressure and tiredness causes mistakes. That checklist is the system that makes him an elite pilot. It is designed to save him from himself. And that's when it clicked for me. The reason you keep making those painful mistakes is not because you are lazy or undisciplined. It's because you are relying on discipline in the first place. Your willpower is the first thing that disappears when you are stressed and scared. You cannot build your trading career on a foundation that you know will crack when you are under pressure. And this is the moment where everything can change for you. You have to realize you have been playing the wrong game. A gambler walks into the casino running on hope and gut feelings. He gets a rush from the risk, and he is unpredictable. The casino, on the other hand, does not care about luck. It does not have feelings. It runs on a simple, proven mathematical edge that is executed over and over again. The casino is a system. It is boring, and it always wins in the long run. The truth I had to accept in trading was that I was trying to become a better gambler when I needed to become the casino. And the simple checklist we are about to build is what separates the two. It's what turns you from a hopeful player into the house. Your only job is to trust the system, especially when your emotions are screaming at you. Break the rules. You stop being the guy hoping to become lucky and you become the house. And the very first step to becoming the house in trading is running a diagnostic on your own trading to find out where the leaks are. Because if you don't know what's broken, you can't build a system to fix it. Now I created a free 3-minute quiz to do exactly that. It's not a magic wand that gives you a new trading strategy, but what it will do is pinpoint your number one reason why your trades are not working out. Click the link in the description to get your foundational diagnosis. It's the starting point for building a trading strategy you can actually trust. So, why are so many trades that look perfect actually doomed from the start? It's because most traders are basically blind. They see a great buy signal, but they are completely oblivious to the trend. Or they see a perfect trend, but they ignore a critical price level. Now, this blind spot is the number one reason why perfect trades still fail. You might have the perfect signal, but if you ignore the environment it is in, you're just gambling. So let's fix this with 3 simple questions. First, ask, what is the trend? Trading against the main market trend is like trying to swim up a waterfall. It is a trap. A perfect setup fighting the current is not a setup. It is a mistake. Number 2, where is the price level? Trade taken in the empty space between major price levels has no real edge. We need to be at a location that actually matters. And number 3, when the trend and the level agree, then we ask, what is the entry signal? The signal is not the reason for the trade. It is the final confirmation. It is the trigger. Think of it like this. Your trading plan is like a bouncer at an exclusive club. He's there to protect your account. You walk up, he looks you up and down, and he asks 3 questions. First, are you with the flow tonight? Or are you fighting the trend? Second, are you on the list? Are you trying to trade in no man's land? And third, let me see that invitation. Or have you got a perfect A+ signal? You need 3 yeses to get past that rope. 2 out of 3 does not cut it. 1 no and you are out. Instantly, with no emotion. This is the first and most important part of your new checklist. I call it the TLS Veto Filter. TLS stands for trend, level, and signal. From now on, before you even think about risking your money, you will pull out your checklist and ask these 3 pass or fail questions. First, T for trend. Is the big picture trend clearly moving up or down? Yes or no? A maybe or it's kinda choppy is a hard no. Second, L for level. Is the price at a major wall or floor that I drew on my chart? Yes or no? Not close to it, but at the level. And third, S for signal. Is there a textbook A+ entry signal happening right now that my plan says to trade? Yes or no? This is your action brick. This is the system that makes discipline irrelevant. But why? Because it's not a feeling. It's a simple black and white test. It cuts through all the noise and all the indicators and boils it down to just 3 simple questions. This is how you stop being a gambler who hopes the trade works out and start operating like the house, which knows the odds are in its favor before it even plays. If you don't get 3 yeses, you don't have a trade. You don't even think about it. You don't second guess. You just close the chart and you walk away. That simple act of walking away is what separates the pros from the amateurs in trading. So the TLS filter just approved your trade and you are in the trade. Congratulations. But be careful. This is actually the most dangerous moment of all, because now your 2 worst enemies, fear and greed, are about to show up and try to convince you to sabotage your own trade. Here's how we lock those 2 emotions completely out. You would think that finding an A+ setup is the hardest part in trading. It is not. The hardest part is not messing it up after you are in the trade. The calm, logical part of your brain that found the trade is now offline. It's been hijacked by fear and greed. So how do you protect your money from your own compromised mind? I learned this the hard way. I once found a perfect setup on a trade. My plan was to catch a big move. But my rule for the stop loss was not 100% precise in my plan. And in the moment, I placed it based on a smaller, less important price level. And unfortunately, I got stopped out by a meaningless price movement. And then I had to watch in pain as the trade rocketed to my original profit target, but without me. It should have been a great win. Instead, it was a painful loss that I handed to myself. That loss taught me that the person who plans the trade cannot be the same person that manages it. You have 2 versions of you. There is the calm you who does the analysis, and then there is the stressed out you who has to live through the trade. You have to protect the stressed out you from making a bad decision. That's why you need what I call a pre-commitment contract. It's like the launch system on a submarine. To fire a missile, two different commanders have to turn the keys at the same time. It is a system that is designed to prevent one emotional person from making a catastrophic choice. Your predefined stop loss and take profit are you, the calm commander, turning your key before the trade even begins, and the decision becomes locked in. But even with a perfect plan, some trades will lose. When that happens, trading beginners get angry, but professionals get curious. They perform an autopsy on the trade. They emotionally figure out the exact cause of the loss to ensure it never happens again. This is how they get stronger. It is how their system gets better over time. So here is how we make this a non-negotiable part of your checklist. So with the pre-commitment contract, before you even enter any trade that has passed your TLS filter, you write this down and check it off. My stop loss and my take profit are calculated, they are set, they will not be touched, period. You are making a binding contract between the calm you and the stressed out you. The decision is already made. Your only job is to let it play out. But what if you lose? This is the final and most powerful part of the system. You don't just take the loss. You perform a mistake autopsy. Think of it this way. A losing trade is a tuition fee you just paid to the market. The autopsy is how you make sure you collect the lesson. It is a simple 3-step process. After every single loss, you ask yourself, was this a statistical loss or a mistake? A statistical loss is just the cost of doing business. You followed the plan perfectly and it just didn't work out. A mistake is when you broke one of your rules. Number 2, if it was a mistake, which exact rule did I break? Be very specific. Did you ignore the TLS filter? Did you move your stop loss? Write it down. Number 3, what one new item on my checklist will prevent this specific mistake from ever happening again? This is how your checklist, your system gets better and stronger. You build your fortress one brick at a time, forged in the fire of your past mistakes. So now you have the TLS checklist, which is the framework for making disciplined decisions. But what good is a checklist if you don't know exactly what a good trend, level, and signal actually look like? A single mistake on any one of those could still cost you. So check out this video. It's the perfect next step where I give you a full masterclass on all 3. You will learn how to identify the trend, how to draw the levels that matter, and the exact entry signals to look out for.